Nick sweeping. We haven't really got to hear Nick. Everybody wants Nick to be contrite, I think is what they're looking for. I think
we haven't got to hear Nick. Nick won't fucking shut up about his case. Like, what are you talking about? He gave away all the information. He came out on Twitter and admitted to the swinging. He admitted to the coke use. He admitted to everything. What are you doing? That's one of the reasons I think that he's going to take a plea, is because he's given out so much information now. He's basically burned his own ships, and he can't go back. He can't. There's no chance he takes this to trial in my mind, because he actually admitted on his own account that he was doing the thing. He said, I was doing mountains of coke. He said April was his girlfriend and they broke up and he wished he could see him. So he's admitted to everything. He's a lawyer. He should know better. What are you doing?
Everybody's looking for some sort of apology or explanation or, again, contrition, I think. Like, they want him to, acknowledge what he did was wrong and that he won't do it again and that he's learned his lesson. That's what humans want to hear, right? Just in these situations.
Yes, when someone does something wrong, typically you want them to show remorse because it makes you feel better thinking that they've learned from their mistakes and they can improve rather than continue to destroy their life. And it's even more so when you have a family you're looking after. And Nick's case is kind of unique because he paraded around as the family man, as the trad dad. And that's why a lot of people are upset about this. And I think they mentioned that in this clip or the next one, where it says it's just coke. Who gives a shit? And honestly, I don't give a shit if people do coke. But when you say to your audience for years and you build your career for years, you get people to trust you for years saying that you're a family man, you're a virgin when you met your wife, you've only been with each other. Cocaine is bad. Like Nick literally said, cocaine is bad for kids. And then this happens. He literally spent weeks making fun of Jack Murphy. And then he's going to the wife swapping parties. That's why people are upset. And that's why people want to believe that this person can change. But instead of just saying nothing or just apologizing or doing any of the smart moves, they see him doubling down. They see him getting aggressive at people on Twitter and his friends in private, telling them that they should rope themselves if they think that he actually did these things. Like he said this in his private DM group, so they promptly got leaked. So of course people are angry. What do you think?
And they're getting mad because they hear Aaron saying that, but they don't hear Nick saying that. But again, Nick has pending charges, and anyone who doesn't understand that, why he can't come out and go, I'm sorry I did coke around my kid. If you don't understand.
But Nick has already said that he did the coke. He admitted it. There is no defense of his actions now. What a stupid thing to say. Oh, he can't. And don't get me wrong, Nick shouldn't have said those things. He shouldn't have said those things at all. But he did. So there's no reason he can't apologize. It's like, well, he will incriminate himself if he says that he did coke. He already said he did coke. Now what?
Understand that. Then you just, I don't know what to do. No one should be going to jail. Aaron shouldn't be going to jail. Nick shouldn't be going to jail. These are all people with kids. Do I think Aaron is probably the most detrimental person in his kid's life? Yes. Do I think long-term what?
Aaron's the guy. Aaron's the most detrimental person, not the guy that brought cocaine into his house and dropped a bullet next to Aaron's 3-year-old child. Aaron's the worst person. Now, Aaron is responsible for bringing Nick into his house. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know. I don't think that's doesn't quite track when you think about it.
Aaron does and says about his children and what he does and his behavior on his program will hurt his kids more than anything Nick Rekieta has done.
All right, so I think that's the baby bird allegations. So if you're not up to date with everything, apparently, as said by Nick in Melton's chat, Aaron likes to sweep up the coom, and let's face it, they're both sucking each other off. They're going to gay 90s. They're naked together. Nick's licking Aaron's ears. You think he's not taken a taste of the recipe? Come on now. Come on now. They're all swapping every imaginable bodily fluid between each other. It's just the way it is.
Slurped it up. Maybe he went down in her box. Maybe he got a silly straw and just sucked it like a madman. We don't know.
What a vile imagery, by the way. That's actually disgusting.
Either way, it's not anything to do with Nick. You can't help what happens to the honey after it leaves the hive.
You've said, what a thing to say. What the fuck? Ugh. It's funny that, like, not only is Melton a disgusting person, like physically, but his internal personality reflects his outward appearance. Imagine that. Imagine that.
Some things which are very uncomfortable.
So the Australian snake, the red-bellied black snake. That's an Australian snake for you. That was the only one I could think of. He does press, like, despite him trying to go sneaky to Aaron and say, like, what do you want me to press Melton on before the stream, and Aaron telling him to fuck off. He did actually at least bring up some good points against Melton, to his credit. He's a snake, but he's an Australian snake.
You went on a rant.
I never said first of all, it wasn't a threat. It wasn't a threat.
No, there's no
language clear.
No,
it was a consensual encounter once she turned 18.
That's
so actually, if I think I remember this correctly, Melton said that no, he wouldn't go after the daughter because she's much too tight. But then after she was 18, he would probably try and fuck Aaron's daughter. Now we might listen to this a little bit, then we'll break it up with the Third World Aristocrat clip. But we'll see what Melton says first.
Right, no correct. Involvement of children. There's no and first of all, no one's gonna do it. Again, no one's interested in this. Again, this
now Melton has, unfortunately for him, a long career, and his entire body of work is just making pedophilic jokes. So, I mean, be your own judge on this.
It's a comedy program. If you can't recognize jokes, but we start
putting... They're just jokes. Just talk about it every day. It's just jokes. What are you worried about? It's just like, and I don't care if you tell a bad joke or if you tell, like, you can tell the worst jokes to me, but if you tell the same joke day after day after day after day, I start to become concerned. Where there's smoke, there's fire is a phrase for a reason, right?
What happened? That's not what happened.
Don't jump all over. Let me finish the question, Patrick.
Whoa. Yeah, just get the wording right, okay? You're being a fucking rat fuck. You're being a rat fuck.
Yeah, I was getting there, you rat fuck.
I mean, he is a rat. They're all rats. Rats trying to backstab each other on the trip over to Australia.
Fuck. The point I was going to make, you cover yourself legally all the time. I understand your wording of things, and that's why I don't freak out and go, oh, Patrick said something illegal. No, he didn't. But
it's not even about just say, oh, I used the word allegedly, I'm scot-free. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it fucking works. If you cause enough interest, people are going to take a look. And when they take a look in your new folder or tax documents, they're going to find some shit that's going to be pretty bad for you, if I had to guess. Allegedly, so I'm off the hook, right? And also, Kush King with 5 says, Melton once ate 9 Egg McMuffins on his show. Is this a joke? Or is this real? He made his pay piggies pay $100 per McMuffin. Lock him up. Hey, look, if this is true, then I would do that as well. Melton may be a disgusting individual, but if I was being paid $100 to eat Egg McMuffin, I'd do it. I'd probably eat 20 Egg McMuffins. 9 is a lot, though. Like, I wouldn't do it for free. Like, I think I could probably eat 3 before throwing up, honestly.
Thanks. We're not talking about legal. We're talking about morality, right?
Well,
like, there's judgment people are going to make on you.
Pause it. Yeah. Because even like legal, it's a YouTube comedy show. I'm coming over to fuck your wife. Like, that's not a threat. It's a
Here's the thing. It's not illegal to fuck someone's wife. It's dirty as shit, don't get me wrong. But nobody's concerned about that, right? Because you can imagine a situation where you fuck the wife consensually and non-legally, right? I mean, sorry, not illegally, I meant to say. But the same cannot be said about children. So these are leagues apart in the gravity of what you're saying. It's not even close. People understand it. There's like a visceral understanding of what makes a pedo disgusting. And he's like, the thing is, not only is he physically pedo-maxing, he's got the phenotype of looking like a pedo. He's acting out to it. He's leaning into it, which is what you should not do that. Like, fuck off. Just stop it. Isn't it illegal in Japan? Well, it is illegal in Japan, yes. You can be sued for home wrecking in Japan. But I don't think you can in most Western countries.
I've actually got audio of how April laughs, which is get two up her arsehole.
Is this? I assume that this is Huey Easy's soundboard. Can we just stop doing soundboards? Like, soundboard, they're always a bad idea. The only acceptable soundboard is if the sound is much quieter than the regular stream, because they're just like audio rape. I hate them. I assume it was from this guy's stream and not Will Heron. So I think Will Heron has a good sense not to include that sort of that loud of a clip.
There you go. Yeah, but I just think that when it comes to and not to interrupt you, Dean, who interrupted me,